and welcome to Say Good Spaces. My name's Michaela Drieberg and today we're at Rathdowne Place Aged Care and Community Centre, or Wellness Centre I should say. It's right here in Carlton and it's really turning our understanding of what aged care looks like on its head. We're joined by Sara Jackson, who's a principal of Jackson Architecture and has been involved in this project since day one. Welcome, Sara.
Thank you.
So we're in Carlton, but whereabouts in Carlton are we?
Well, we're right in the heart of Carlton. This project was part. I just should explain some of the history of the project. It was part of the state government's regeneration plan for housing in Carlton, and the Ministry of Housing offered up 3 sites. This site's the Rathdowne and Lygon Street site to the open market for them to put forward a proposal to regenerate the housing in the area. So the idea is to mix housing. There's some public housing, there's some private housing. There's housing for singles, there's housing for families, and this is part of the mix. This is housing for retirement living and aged care. So it's really about keeping the community as a community with all sectors participating and being a part of it.
And it really goes with the whole ethos for Australian Unity as well.
That's exactly right. So Australian Unity's principle or philosophy around aged care is called Better Together, and it's really based on the idea of connecting people with the people within the village, within the centre or the aged care facility, and on the outside as well. It's sort of based on the idea that positive ageing is about continuing to have people engaged with their community. As people get older, they can lose a sense of purpose and feel disconnected. And so the whole premise behind the building and the whole premise behind Australian Unity's approach to aged care is better together, and that's about keeping people connected.
And it certainly doesn't look like an aged care facility just to look at it. I mean, this facade behind us is beautiful and again, doesn't really scream aged care. So can you tell us a little bit about some of the thinking behind the facade in particular?
Yep. Okay, so the idea behind the facade, and just onto that point of connection, we took the idea of view as an opportunity to connect people to their environment, and you know, you might not be able to participate in the cricket game that's going on here in this park, but you can watch on. And really the site for this aged care facility was selected specifically because there was an opportunity to create a public park here, and that gave the opportunity to have the residents have views to the park. So the facade sort of has come about from sort of designing from on the inside, in the sense that, you know, view was important, so how can we optimise and maximise that? I mean, the planning on the inside was about view, and also we wanted the rooms and people who live there to sort of have a sense of where they live from the outside, because when you think about it, when you move into an aged care facility, you leave your home and your room becomes your home and your space. So it's important, we felt, that the residents had a sense of where that was on the facade, and that's how we came about with the fractured sort of look of it. There are balconies down the middle of the building as well, and they were about, again, when it's a community area there, and it's about when the floor can come together as a community and watch on it at the events that are happening in and around the facility.
And it really is a community within a community inside. I've had a sneak peek already, and I want to share some of the differences that is inside there with our viewers as well. So can we take a closer look?
Yeah, let's do that.
Great. So Sara, we're inside Rathdowne Place now, and this is one of the communal spaces which is on every floor, and we're actually on the 5th floor now with a roaring fire behind us as well.
Yep.
So the communal spaces are really important, aren't they?
Absolutely. I mean, as I was saying before, the whole premise of the facility is about people keeping connected to one another. And, you know, I've talked a little bit about keeping people connected to the outside world, but also keeping people connected to one another inside is also important. So there's been quite a bit of time and effort that's gone into designing these interior spaces. So we're now sitting in the living area, which has been designed to also feel home-like. We've got beautiful artwork, we've got the fireplace, we've got sort of trinkets and books and so on. And it's important that it doesn't sort of feel like an institution, which so many aged care facilities can. So that's the idea that sort of underpins this sitting area. And then just across the way there, we've got the communal kitchen, where you can come and cook your own food if you'd like, I think with supervision. And then there's the dining area where the good residents today are enjoying their lunch. There's also the balcony over here to the right, and actually on this floor there's 2 balconies. There's the view to the city to the west, and then there's a view to the east on the other side of the building that actually gets an amazing view of the Dandenong Ranges, and that's a barbecue area over on that side. And these are all part of the communal spaces that really, I think, make this facility different. You know, if you have a resident or a family member, a friend who's living here, you can come, you can host a dinner party, you can go and watch a movie in the cinema downstairs.
Now the cinema actually got my attention, and it has a variety of different movies that are shown, from quite contemporary ones to old favourites as well, and there's popcorn.
Yes, yeah, the cinema is just like going to the cinema. There's 25 or so seats, and actually when I was here the other day, someone opened the door and it was really loud. It was like, you know, Dolby surround sound coming out, so you really feel like you're at the movies, which is great because...
And it doubles up because I hear they play footy as well.
Yes, they do footy, and they have meetings, community meetings and so on. So, you know, it's a very versatile space, but importantly, you know, it gives people in here something to do, and that's a key thing in ageing positively, which is a big part of Australian Unity's vision, is to have people age positively, and that's to keep them sort of busy and engaged and occupied and participating in life as best as they can.
And there's certainly something for everyone, because there's library nooks, and is that on every floor as well?
Yep, on every floor. The floors have been designed, there's 34 residents on each floor, and they come together, like lunch is served on every floor, so the community on each floor comes together. And we were just talking before about the fact that on one level there's a whole Italian community that have come in here, and when you go past level 2 you can quite often hear Italian music, which is fantastic because it gives people, you know, connection with one another. But back to the library nooks, yeah, these are a really kind of critical part of the design. We have 4 or 5 rooms grouped around what we've called the library nook, and there's a computer desk, and you can come out and sort of meet with your neighbours and sit in this communal space. They have views out to the outside world, and I mean, it's really great to see people using them, and Gavin, the manager here, was talking about the fact that on this level, I think, or maybe one of the other levels, there's a knitting circle that always happens in that particular nook. So it really offers the residents of this facility choice as to where they might want to hang out and what they might want to do. So yeah, it's all been thought through, really.
And the other elements that I love as well is downstairs there's the hydrotherapy pool and a gym and a coffee shop. And not only is it available for residents, but it's opened up to the local community as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's the other key part. There's sort of 2 components to the inclusiveness of the facility. There's about having the community within the facility, and then obviously there's the community on the outside of the facility.
So one of the things that I first noticed when I walked in was the coffee shop.
Yeah.
And I wasn't quite sure if I was in the right place as well, because it does not feel like you're walking into an aged care facility. And the coffee shop there that's open to everyone and everyone, it really signifies this different gateway that is unusual.
Yes. Yeah, and I guess the idea behind that is actually to bring people from the outside into the facility. So it's not just about the old people who are here. There's young people coming and going as they need. And also there's the hydrotherapy pool there and the physiotherapy centre, which is a community facility. I mean, you don't have to be old to come to that. You can just be living over the road and need a massage.
If I knew about it, I would have booked my massage for when I came here, because that's just this added bonus.
Yeah.
It's here for the people that live here and their loved ones that come and meet with them, but people just in Carlton might like to come along for a massage as well. So Sarah, how many rooms are there actually in here?
There's 153 rooms, and the place has really only been open for 14 months, and there's only 15 rooms left, which is amazing and actually quite remarkable. Yes, exactly. So it's a testament to the design and the quality and the ideas, really, and the vision of Australian Unity to create this kind of place. So as designers, we've been lucky to work with a fantastic client who really committed to creating something special.
Well, Well, Sarah, we're in a sacred space now. It's a prayer room, but it's a multi-faith room, and it's just another thing that's on offer to residents here, where they can actually practice their faith and not feel restricted by a denomination as well. To me, it just really stands out, the community within a community here, and you know, it's your home, but you can go to the library, you can go to the movies, you can go swimming, you can go to the gym, you can go to dinner, you can have a coffee. It's just endless.
Yeah, that's right, that's right. And you know, I think that's really important, to give people choice, and that was another big part. I mean, it's about the community and keeping people connected, but it's also about giving people choice so they can decide for themselves how they want to spend their days, which is really about respecting aging people, which is really important to their integrity and their ongoing wellness.
I also love the integration with the community, you know, opening it up for locals that live here and making people that live here feel like they're a part of a larger community as well.
Yeah, and I think that's a really important aspect. And for example, as you're saying, this is really non-denominational. So if you were living in Carlton and you know, you found yourself in need of care, you could come here and take a room, and then you could invite your personal minister or your local parish to come here and offer you some spiritual guidance or prayers and so on in this space. And as we were saying, it's non-denominational, so it doesn't matter if it's the priest or the minister or the rabbi or whatever. And I think that's a critical thing about this place. It really caters for inner city urbanites, as I call them, who, you know, have lived in the city most of their lives and really are not enthusiastic about going out to sort of Doncaster or somewhere to play bingo. I mean, they don't even play bingo in this facility at all. It's really about offering the people what they want to do, and that is to read or to have a coffee or to, you know, take a swim in the hydrotherapy pool, or as we were saying, go to the cinema. So it's really, yeah, it really is a special place from that point of view, and it's being very carefully planned and really programmed from a brief point of view by Australian Unity to have all these facilities here.
Now, you've done a fantastic job. It certainly has a totally different feeling from the second you walk in, from the outside, and just realising where you're located and how it connects with everything. So well done.
Thank you, thank you.
Now, I do like to ask people about their sacred space, and we're in a sacred space quite literally right now. So if you could choose a favourite aspect of this entire project, the entire building, what would it be?
I really like the library nooks, which is this little area outside the 3 or 4 or 5 rooms upstairs at the end of the corridors, where there's a little space for some books, there's a computer desk, and it's an area where people can come together and just in their little community sort of have a chat to your neighbours. So it's really trying to create a room within a street within the layout of the building, really. So it's a bit like, you know, talking over the front fence to your neighbour, if you like. And I think that's really important to keep that sense of connectedness and that sense of neighbourhood within the building.
Do you know the only thing that's missing? Either a cat or a dog lurking around.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that will eventually happen.
That's probably true. That's probably true.
The communal cat.
The communal cat. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Well, who knows? Who knows?
Who knows what the future holds?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, thank you again for spending some time with us today, Sarah, and congratulations on such a wonderful facility.
Yeah. Thank you, Michaela. It's been a pleasure.
My name's Michaela Dreberg. You've been watching Sacred Spaces, and we'll see you next time.